What's up, everybody? Big Sky Bowler coming to you again from Town and Country Lanes, and today we are here to check out a brand new upcoming release from the Swag line of balls, the Big Bro Big Guns. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, so like I said, we're here today to check out the new Big Bro Big Guns from the Swag line of balls. This is going to be actually I think it's about the fourth release in the Big Bro line. So about a year and a half back, we had the original Big Bro ball that came out. Was a very popular ball. It was a pearl ball. Unfortunately, we had some issues with the cover stock on that ball, and that ball had a lot of cracking problems. Shortly after we released that ball, we came out with the next ball in the lineup, which, if I recall correctly, was the Big Bro Jacked. The Big Bro Jacked, as you can see sitting back here on the table, is an asymmetric solid ball. Has the same core as all the other Big Bro balls in it. Very, very successful ball from the Big Bro lineup. Very strong asymmetric solid. I absolutely love this ball on longer oil and on higher volume oil. House shots, you know, if you got it at the right surface, it's a very powerful piece. You can really stand left, throw right. It likes to react like crazy. The next release after that was the Big Bro KO, and that's the red ball on the table back there. The KO we released, I think it was right about this time last year. It came out November, December, if I remember correctly, right in the middle of league season. That ball, amazing. Again, same core, different cover stock, different surface prep, just an amazing piece from the Swag lineup. A little bit cleaner through the front than the Big Bro Jacked, so it's a little bit sharper on the back end, at least for me. And I really did like that one as well. So now we've got the fourth release in the Big Bro lineup, and this is the Big Bro Big Guns. This is going to be another sanded pearl, just like the Big Bro KO was. And this ball has the same core inside of it, so that's our dominance core. I always refer to it as the Big Bro core just because to me that's what it is, but it's the dominance core. And as far as the cover stock, it's got the RVR4 pearl cover stock on the ball. Now, if you remember, the buzzer beater that we came out with not so long ago has that RVR4 pearl cover on the ball. And to me, that RVR4 pearl cover is a little bit cleaner, a little bit weaker, if you will, than the RVR3, which is actually the cover stock that just came out on the new Joker Maniac that we just came out with not so long ago. So anyway, it's got a strong core, a little bit cleaner cover on it. As far as the stats are concerned, I throw 14 pounds, so we're looking at a 2.534 RG with a 0.52 differential, and the mass bias is 0.17. So again, the core is fairly strong. Because it's 14 pounds, it's about a medium RG, not necessarily a low RG. It's got a lot of flare potential. Now, as far as the other Big Bro balls that I've thrown in the past, my Jacked and my Big Bro KO both have the same layout. And I've got the mass bias underneath my fingers with the pin swung out to the right a little bit. I think it's like a 4-inch pin, and it's pretty tall above my finger. So the ball, again, has reduced flare, gets clean to the front with a pretty decent breakpoint shape. This particular ball, I was looking to do something a little bit different with this one. So instead of going with my standard asymmetric layout, which turns out to be 4.5 by 5 by 2 PAL, I'm going to actually go with the short pin layout on this ball. So I went with 2.25 by 6.5 by 1 PAL. Now, my reasoning behind that is because I wanted to put a different look into my asymmetric bag. I pretty much have all of my bases covered in my asymmetric lineup. I've got my Big Bro Jack here, which is my strong benchmark asymmetric solid. My KO is basically the next ball down from that because it's a little bit cleaner and sharper on the back end for me. And then I've also got my Black Pearl Treasure, which I don't have with me. I have it left at home. But my Black Pearl Treasure for me anyway is that later transition ball that, I can really stand left, throw right, and trust that it's going to come back strong. So I wasn't really looking to fulfill that area of my bag, where I had to stand left and throw right and have it shape. What I wanted was something that I could control the friction a little bit easier with. So I went with a short pin layout on this ball. Keep in mind, when you put a short pin layout on a ball, it takes the core, instead of standing it more vertically, it just lays it down on its side, which reduces the overall flare, and it's going to change kind of how the ball is going to go through the pins. Now, the out-of-box surface on this ball is 4,000 grit. I do this with all of my balls. Whenever I get a new ball, I never throw it at its out-of-box surface. I always take a pad to it at the corresponding number that it has on the stats on the ball. So this one says 4,000 grit. I took a 4,000 grit True Cut pad to it as soon as I opened it up, because you can never get back to that out-of-box surface no matter how hard you try. You can never get back to that factory finish. It's because you don't use the same surfacing equipment or pads that the factory uses. So anyway, it's at True Cut 4000. We've got a semi-burned up house shot out here. Yesterday's senior league leftovers, basically. There should still be some decent oil, maybe a little bit of carry down, but I'm looking to see what this ball can do. Let's get it out on the lanes. We're going to start just by going more outside. So my initial shot's going to be 24 and probably 11, 12. I'm going to stay behind the ball and see what we get. Oh wow, that was crazy. So that's honestly something I wasn't quite expecting because I've got the short pin layout on the ball. Staying behind the ball, it entered a roll very quickly and just wanted to go. So we're going to try that same shot and try and get some speed on it and see if it will hold that outside line. So again, I'm standing 24, looking at 11, 12 at the arrows. I was a little left at the break point that time. My first shot was 5.6, which is where I wanted it. Second shot was like 8.9. But again, what we're seeing here is the ball is really reading the mid lane quite well. And that's not something I was necessarily expecting at 4000 grit, especially with that RVR4 pearl cover. Like I said, that RVR4 pearl cover is a little bit cleaner for me, especially on the buzzer beater. So try one more time here. Now that last shot was quite a bit faster, but I did tug it, so we're going to try it again and try and get it out to my break point that I want. That's a little better. That's a little better. Okay, so it did try to hang on, but again, as you can see, it's reading the mid lane so well that it just gets to that break point and wants to go very quickly. Now, what I'm liking so far is how the ball's rolling when it hits the pins. You know, like I said before, a short pin layout is standing the core instead of vertically, it's laying it on its side. So sometimes that can create an odd look as it goes through the pins. We're going to use that same hand position. And let's see, we're going to jump a whole zone left here. So we're going to go 4 and 2. So standing 28, looking at 13, same hand position, same speed. Pretty good shot. Pretty good shot. Okay, so that was 8 at the break point. That was 13 at the arrows. Still a very strong mid lane read here. High on the head pin. Now, like I said, keep in mind, this is a slightly burned up house shot. So there is going to be some extra friction out there. And like I said in the beginning intro of the video, my intention with this ball was to give me something that I could use to control the friction when the friction was out there. And so far, it's actually fulfilling that for me. And I really do like what I'm seeing. We're going to try that same shot. Try and get it out to 5 this time instead of 8. Oops. Try that over. So I did hit 13, but I tugged down on it. I haven't warmed up yet, so my body is still kind of getting relaxed and loosened up. I did do my active stretching before I started throwing though, so hopefully we can get this shot online here. Okay, 5 at 42 feet, 13 at the arrows, and here we go. That's better. There it is. That's better. Who says short pins don't strike? Again, good shot. So 13 at the arrows, stayed behind it. I hit 5 at the break point. It got to that friction and it didn't hockey stick, and that's what I'm looking for out of this ball. It just picked up a nice forward roll, went through the pins, and that 10 pin just got suctioned off the back of the deck here. Try that one more time. See if I can get my balance at the foul line a little bit better this time. Came around it a little bit, and it took off. Ooh. Came around it a little bit. Okay, so that was 13 out to 6. I came around it a little bit more than I wanted, and it really jumped off the friction that time. So even with the short pin layout, this ball just, I mean, it's nice and smooth, which is what I wanted, especially on friction like this, but it just wants to go. So, and that is a direct result of that dominance core in the Big Bro lineup. That core is a very good core, a very strong core. So we're gonna go 4 and 2. So we're gonna be standing 32. 15 is my visual target. Break point of 5. Same hand position here. There we go. There we go. First time I saw I get to the pins and kind of deflect a little bit, but just keep in mind, I'm staying behind it at this point still. I have yet to really rotate around the ball. I cannot emphasize enough, keep in mind, I do have a short pin layout on this ball. You know, if this ball was laid out with my benchmark ASIM layout that I have on my other Big Bro balls, I have no doubt it would have got to the pins and drove really hard through the pins. So we're gonna stand in the same place, look in the same place, same break point, but we're gonna give it a little bit of rotation this time. There we go. Hey, look at that. There we go. Hey, look at that. That's all it took. A touch more rotation. That was actually my standard release. I double dribbled it, but I haven't quite warmed up yet, like I said before. But a little bit more rotation, and it picked up and went through the pins beautifully. All right, so let's start making our moves a little bit smaller. I'm going to go 2 and 1 left. Same release as that last shot. So again, we're standing 34, break point of 5, eyes at 16 at the arrows. Hit 15. But that's what I want to see right there. So hit 15. Got it to the friction a little bit early, and instead of it jumping really high and going to the face, it got to that spot and was able to control that friction and still make it through the pins very well. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty satisfied with what I have out of this ball. Like I said, I put a short pin layout on this ball to give me the ability to really control the friction when the friction starts to happen on the lanes. I'm really impressed that dominance core in the Big Bro ball is able to handle that friction quite well, even with a short pin layout. We're getting, I'd say, 2 inches of flare still out of this with that core in the ball, and that RVR4 pearl cover is clean enough to where the ball is not going to read too early and then just roll out or die on the back end of the lane. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the Big Bro KO and the Big Bro Jacked out on the lanes, and I'll show you the clear difference between those 2 balls compared to this ball. Okay guys, so now we're going to compare what you just saw with the Big Bro Big Guns to the Big Bro Jacked. Again, this was the asymmetric solid that we came out with last year. It's got the RVR4 solid cover stock. So again, solid version of the pearl cover stock that's on the Big Guns. The RG is 2.474, differential of 0.54, mass bias of 0.21. So overall, much stronger shape on the lanes, higher flare potential. As far as the layout on this ball is concerned, I'm using my standard asymmetric layout, which is 4.5 by 5 by 2 PAL. And we are going to make an initial move to the right of 4 and 2. So 36 with my feet, 16, 17 with my eyes, break point roughly of 5. Pretty decent. See, and there you go. So you can see just how much stronger overall that ball shapes on the lane compared to the Big Guns. Pretty decent. Okay, so now we're going to move on and compare what you saw with the Big Bro Big Guns and the Big Bro Jacked to what we get out of the Big Bro KO. Now, the KO, this ball came out near the end of last year. I think it was like December, if I remember correctly. Again, same core, dominance core, RVR4 pearl cover stock, prepared at 4,000 grit, 2.484 RG, 0.54 differential, 0.21 mass bias. So again, the stats are pretty similar to the Jacked. The RG is slightly higher, same amount of flare potential with that 0.54 and 0.21 on the differential and the mass bias. Now, from pure experience of throwing this ball, it is a little bit cleaner through the front, pretty strong in the mid lane with a pretty, I'd say about a medium to medium fast break point. So we're going to go 2 and 1 right of where the jacked was playing. So we're going to go 34 and eyes at 15, break point of 5, standard release. Much better. Much better. I'm okay with that. That was actually 7 at the break point instead of 5, but you get the idea. Clean to the front, pretty decent mid-lane read, medium fast break point, good continuation through the pins. Okay guys, so there it is, the Big Bro Big Guns from California Bowling and Swag, the next release in the Big Bro lineup. This ball is set to go worldwide release date on October 31st, so Halloween. And you can get yours by going to www.swagbowling.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook, on YouTube, or something like that, and let me know you'd like to put an order together. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video today. Please do not forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the content, and please subscribe to the channel as it really does help me out, and I will see you guys in the next video.